Hi friends, and welcome to Book a Day for Little Learners. Today we're going to read Farm Animals. It's one of our books in the Farm series. If you've missed any of our books, you can check on my Farm playlist. At the end of the story, I will show you the story we're going to read tomorrow. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. I'm so glad you came back to join us for our story today. If you are not a subscriber, please consider joining us. And after you hit subscribe, click on the bell. That way you get a notification when I upload a new video. This story is called Farm Animals. It's by Katie Danes, designed by Nikki Butler and Catherine Ann McKinnon. The illustrations are by Christian Fox. Do you see the chicks? Some of them are just coming out of their eggs. This is an informational book, so it has a table of contents. On the farm. Sheep, hens, and cows live on farms, but so do other animals such as ostriches and fish. Farmers keep animals for their milk, eggs, meat, skin, feathers, or wool. This looks like a farm you would find in England. This is not typically what farms in the United States look like. People and farms. All over the world, people build farms so they can keep their animals close by. Long ago, animals only lived in the wild. People hunted them for meat. Then, people learned to fence in the animals they hunted. They found that the animals' eggs, wool, and milk were useful too. Today, some farm animals live in huts. Others live in big open fields. Farmers grow fields of grass for their sheep and cows to eat. Friends, that is a very up-close picture of a cow eating grass. Feeding time. Farm animals can't always find things to eat. Farmers give them extra food and drink. Farmers feed their sheep hay when snow covers the grass. Farmers have to do the same thing for cows. Newborn chicks are given trays of grain and water. So they're little, so they give them like a tray, like a little short bowl of grain and water. After a week, they learn to eat from a grain feeder. That's the grain feeder. They get water by tapping their beaks on a drinker. Grass is tough to eat. Cows swallow it once, then bring it back into their mouth to chew again. This is called chewing the cud. So when you see a cow, it looks like it's chewing something almost all the time. On a ranch. Ranches are farms with lots of land. On beef ranches, farmers breed cattle for their meat. So if you live on a ranch, a beef ranch, they're very, very large, like hundreds and hundreds of acres, and they have cattle. They have bulls and cows, and calves, of course. In spring, the ranchers herd their cattle to the hills where there's lots of grass to eat. So herding the animals means that they're moving them as a group. Before the cold winter, ranchers round up the cattle and herd them back to the farm. They do that so that they can feed them. Remember on the page earlier, we saw that the farmers have to provide those big bales of hay. Otherwise, the animals would starve in the winter. On very big ranches, helicopters round up the cattle. The noise of the helicopter makes the cattle move forward. To catch an animal, a rancher throws a lasso over its horns. So friends, a long time ago, ranchers used horses to move the cows and to get around the farm. And now there are some ranches that are so big that the farmer or the rancher uses a helicopter. They also, some of them use trucks, and some of them use ATVs or all-terrain vehicles. There are different ways they get around to take care of their animals. They also have to check the fence line and make sure there are none of the fences down. Laying eggs. Female chickens are called hens. All hens lay eggs, but only some eggs hatch into chicks. Some farmers keep hens for their eggs. Each day, fresh eggs are taken and sold. For an egg to hatch into a chick, a male chicken has to mate with a hen. Male chickens are called cockerels or roosters. In the US, we call them roosters. After a cockerel and hen have mated, the hen makes a nest. She lays some eggs and sits down to warm them. She uses her beak and feet to turn the eggs over. After 21 days, a chick hatches out of each egg. Chickens that are allowed to run around outside are called free-range chickens. Sometimes the chickens are kept in a fenced area, so they are not free-range. Milking. Cows, goats, and sheep are often kept by farmers for their milk. Several days after a cow gives birth, it goes with the other cows to be milked. A milking machine is attached to the cow's teats. Their milk goes into a tank. The cows are milked twice a day. Their milk is collected by a milk tanker. So that truck is full of just milk. Many farmers milk their animals by hand. They squeeze a teat and the milk squirts into a bowl. That's what she's doing. Some farmers play music while their sheep are milking. It makes the sheep produce more milk. Do you like to listen to music when you're working? I like to listen to music when I'm working, especially if it's background music and not distracting. Shearing. Sheep don't need their thick woolly coats in summer. Farmers shear them off and the wool is used to make clothes and blankets. Sheepdogs help farmers round up sheep on hillsides. Some farmers tell their sheepdogs what to do by blowing a whistle. So he has them trained to follow a whistle. That's a sheepdog. The sheep are herded into a pen. Their wool is sheared off in one piece, and then the farmer lets the sheep go. So friends, this does not hurt the sheep. It's just actually to get the wool off them. It's actually healthy for the animal. It's similar to us getting a haircut, where it just leaves the hair that's there even healthier because it doesn't have the rest of it there. Alpacas are also kept on farms, and they have very soft wool. These alpacas have just been sheared, so they don't get the legs very much. This part is all gone. Pigs and piglets. Pigs are often muddy, but they keep their huts dry and clean. They search for food on the ground. Farmers give them food pellets to eat. To keep cool, pigs roll in wet mud. Then they stretch out and let the mud dry. Pigs have a very good sense of smell. They can be trained to sniff out rare mushrooms. Baby pigs are called piglets. A mother pig can give birth to 14 piglets at a time. Ooh, that'd be a lot of piglets, friends. 14 at one time. Lambs and calves. When farm animals are born, their mothers look after them. Often the farmer helps too. A farmer helps a sheep give birth. The mother gets up and licks her lamb. The lamb can stand up after a few minutes. Lambs are marked with paint to show which mother they belong to. Look at that lamb jumping over. Mother cows usually have one calf. The calf sucks milk from its mother's teat. Baby lambs know who their mother is because she makes her own bleating noise. That's the like meow, and the moo. Moo. Ducks and geese. Ducks and geese are farmed for their eggs, feathers, and meat. This farmer is taking his ducks to market to sell. Geese live in groups. A group of geese is called a gaggle. So that's a gaggle of geese. Some geese and ducks can't be trusted to sit on their own eggs until they hatch. A farmer takes a freshly laid egg from a goose's nest. She puts it into a hen's nest, and the hen keeps it warm. They're helping each other out, aren't they? Underwater farms. Sometimes fish are kept on farms. Salmon farmers breed salmon in freshwater tanks. Then they take them to a farm in the sea. The fish live in big pens made of netting. A walkway floats between the pens. See the walkway? The farmer arrives at the salmon farm by boat. He sprays food pellets into the pens. On some underwater farms, pearls are grown inside shellfish called oysters. The salmon pens are checked by a diver. He looks out for holes and dead fish. After 18 months in their pen, the salmon are big enough to be caught and sold. Big birds. Farmers breed ostriches for their eggs, skin, and meat. Their feathers are used to make fancy clothes and hat. They're kept in big fields so they have space to run. Friends, ostriches have very long necks, don't they? To move an ostrich, the farmer puts a hood on its head. Darkness calms the bird. Now the farmer can move it. See that? Ostrich chicks live together in a pen. The farmer gives them food pellets to eat. An ostrich egg makes an omelet big enough to feed 12 people. That is a lot of egg. I usually have, my omelets are made out of chicken eggs. Snow and sand. Only a few kinds of farm animals live in very cold or very hot places. In some cold countries, reindeer are farmed for their meat, milk, and skin. Some reindeer farmers use snowmobiles to round up their animals. In hot deserts, farmers camp where there is food for their animals. When there are no more plants to eat, the farmers move their animals on. Farmers who travel with their animals are called nomads. So they move from place to place. Crocodile farms. Farmers breed crocodiles mostly for their skin, but also for their meat. Crocodiles need to be kept in a warm place with water. Some crocodiles are as long as 3 tall men lying down in a line. So a crocodile builds a nest with her feet. She lays about 50 eggs in the nest, and then farmers put the eggs in an incubator to keep them warm. After 80 days, baby crocodiles hatch out of the eggs. In the United States, there are a lot of crocodiles and alligators that live in the Southeast, so Florida, Louisiana, and then there's the glossary of farm words, and then some websites you can visit to learn more about farming all over the world. Friends, thank you so much there's the index page, for reading Farm Animals with me. I thought that was a great informational story about how people around the world farm. If you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and do so, and the like button if you liked the reading of the book. Tomorrow's book is going to be Baby Lamb. Look, they're both lambs on that. So I hope to see you tomorrow for our book about another farm animal. See you then.